All right, so as we head into winter, let's dive into something pretty essential for a lot of folks out there. Oil furnaces.
Definitely important.
And, we're tackling HVAC Repair Guy's 2024 ratings today. Because, let's face it, picking a furnace is a big deal. And this guide compares over 40 models from 31 brands.
That's a lot.
It's a lot to take in.
To sift through.
Yeah.
Especially since an oil furnace is, it's a significant investment. You don't want to just go with the first one you see.
Absolutely. And that's where this color-coded rating system, I think, is super helpful.
Right.
Green means top pick, yellow means budget pick, and red.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a warning sign.
Right.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty, I'm curious, what makes these green brands stand out? I see names like Arius, Lennox, Tempstar.
Well, what's interesting is that they all share a focus on long-term value.
Okay.
Think solid warranties, efficient operation, and those durable components that can really take the wear and tear of winter after winter.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You want something that's going to last.
Okay, but even within the top picks, there are some unique things going on. Like Arius uses a ceramic fiber combustion chamber. What's the advantage of that?
Corrosion is a big enemy of furnaces. And what's fascinating about ceramic fiber is that it eliminates that corrosion problem.
Oh, wow.
That translates to a longer lifespan for the furnace, which is a huge win for homeowners.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nobody wants to replace their furnace prematurely.
Then you've got Granby and Kerr with some models that can be vented with PVC pipe instead of the usual metal.
Right.
That seems like it could simplify installations in certain homes.
Absolutely. It offers flexibility during installation, which can save on costs and headaches down the line.
Sure.
Not to mention, PVC venting is great for resisting corrosion, especially in damp environments.
That makes sense. So even among the top-rated brands, it's about finding the one that fits your specific needs and budget, right?
Exactly. Factors like variable speed blowers for quieter operation or a company's reputation for customer service
can make a difference depending on your priorities.
All right, let's move on to those yellow budget picks.
Okay.
What should someone be considering if they're trying to save money up front?
Well, the key is to be aware of potential trade-offs.
Okay.
A lower price tag might mean sacrificing energy efficiency or having a less comprehensive warranty. So you might save initially, but potentially face higher energy bills or repair costs down the line.
That makes sense. Now, the red zone, the Bland's HVAC Repair Guy recommends avoiding.
Right.
What are some common issues that land a brand in that category?
Limited dealer networks are a big one.
Okay.
Imagine needing a repair on a freezing night and the nearest authorized technician is miles away.
Oh, that's no good.
That's a recipe for disaster.
I can only imagine the stress.
Yeah.
A broken furnace in the middle of winter is not something you want to gamble with.
Absolutely not.
What else sends up red flags?
Weak warranties are another concern.
Okay.
If a major component fails and you're not adequately covered, those repair bills can hit you hard.
Right. And of course, lower efficiency ratings often mean higher operating costs over time.
So while we won't call out every red-rated brand, it seems like they often come with more risk and potential headaches.
Precisely. It's not to say they're all inherently bad, but it's crucial to do your homework. Look into dealer networks, compare warranties, and factor in the long-term implications of things like energy efficiency.
HVAC Repair Guy actually makes that research easier with their website's comparison tool and brand reviews.
Yeah.
They really go in depth, which is super helpful.
They do.
One thing that caught my eye was several brands like AirQuest, Arcware, even Tempstar. They all have very similar descriptions. Made in Mexico by Carrier. Similar efficiency, almost identical warranties.
Right.
What's the deal with that?
That's a sharp observation, and it highlights a practice called badge engineering.
Okay.
Essentially, a single manufacturer produces nearly identical products, but sells them under different brand names. In this case, it seems Carrier is the company behind these various furnace models.
So it's like buying the same car, but with a different badge on the grill.
Exactly. And it's not always a bad thing.
Okay.
Competition between these brands can actually lead to better pricing for consumers.
Okay, so more choices, even if they're similar, could mean better deals.
Right.
Are there any downsides to this badge engineering thing?
One potential downside is the lack of differentiation.
Right.
With several brands offering nearly identical products, it can be hard to tell them apart based on unique features or quality.
So you're stuck comparing apples to apples,
Right.
and it becomes more about the brand name than any real differences.
Right. And that can make it harder for consumers to develop loyalty to a particular brand, especially if they've had mixed experiences with different labels from the same manufacturer.
So badge engineering is kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
It can create more competition and potentially better prices, but it also makes it harder to pinpoint what sets one brand apart from another.
It emphasizes the importance of research. Don't just go by the brand name. Dig into the specs, compare features, and consider the factors that matter most to you.
Speaking of things that matter, I noticed that HvacRepairGuy consistently emphasizes the heat exchanger warranty in these ratings. What makes that particular warranty so important?
Well, the heat exchanger is like the heart of your furnace.
Okay.
It's where the combustion happens, heating the air that circulates throughout your home. So if the heat exchanger goes, the whole furnace is pretty much done for.
Yeah, basically, it's a pretty big deal.
In most cases, yes, replacing a heat exchanger is a major repair, often costing as much as a brand new furnace. That's why a strong warranty on that component is absolutely crucial.
So it's like an insurance policy against a potentially huge expense.
Exactly. It gives you peace of mind knowing you're protected if that critical component fails.
All right, so we've covered the ratings, we delved into badge engineering, and even touched on the importance of the heat exchanger warranty. What other factors should homeowners consider when choosing an oil furnace that might not be explicitly covered in these ratings?
Well, a professional HVAC assessment is essential. They can evaluate your home's specific heating needs and determine the right size and type of furnace for optimal efficiency. You don't want a furnace that's too small or too large. Both can lead to problems and wasted energy.
So it's about getting a furnace that's just right, Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Exactly. Another thing to consider is energy efficiency rebates or incentives. Many utility companies and government programs offer financial assistance to homeowners who choose energy-efficient heating systems.
Oh, that's a good point. That could really help offset the upfront cost of a more efficient furnace.
Absolutely. And then there's the long-term perspective. A more efficient furnace might cost more initially, but you'll likely recoup those costs over time through lower energy bills. It's about thinking beyond the immediate purchase and considering the long-term savings.
Makes sense. So it's like investing in your comfort and your wallet at the same time.
Exactly. It's about making a smart, informed decision that will benefit you for years to come.
Now, before we wrap things up, I want to touch on something I found particularly interesting in these ratings. I noticed that a lot of brands have models with single-stage burners, while others offer two-stage or even modulating burners. Can you explain the difference and why someone might choose one over the other?
Sure, that's a great question. It gets into the nuances of how these furnaces operate. A single-stage burner operates at full blast whenever it's running. It's like a light switch. It's either on or off.
Okay.
A two-stage burner has a low and a high setting, allowing it to adjust its output based on the heating demand.
So it's more like a dimmer switch.
Exactly. And a modulating burner takes it a step further. It can continuously adjust its output across a wide range, providing even finer control and optimal efficiency.
So it sounds like the more stages or modulation, the more precise the temperature control, and the greater the potential energy savings.
That's generally true. Two-stage and modulating burners can run for longer cycles at lower outputs, which helps maintain a more consistent temperature and reduces energy waste.
But I imagine those advanced features probably come at a premium.
Often the case. So it's a trade-off between upfront cost and long-term efficiency gains. A single-stage burner might be more affordable initially, but a two-stage or modulating burner could save you money on energy bills in the long run.
It's that balance we keep coming back to, weighing the immediate cost versus the potential long-term benefits.
Precisely, and it highlights the importance of understanding your heating needs and priorities when choosing an oil furnace.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground today. From navigating the ratings to exploring badge engineering and delving into the different types of burners, we've really gotten into the details of choosing an oil furnace.
It's been a deep dive into the world of home heating for sure. Hopefully, we've given our listeners the knowledge and tools to make a confident and informed decision.
Before we wrap up, are there any final thoughts or pieces of advice you'd like to share with our listeners as they embark on their search for the perfect oil furnace?
I think the most important thing is to remember that choosing an oil furnace is a long-term investment. It's not just about finding the cheapest option, but rather understanding the factors that contribute to long-term value.
Yeah, you got to look at the big picture.
Exactly.
So it's about taking a holistic approach, looking beyond the initial price tag, and considering things like efficiency warranty and even the reputation of the brand and the installer.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions. Talk to multiple HVAC professionals, get different quotes, and make sure you understand the pros and cons of each option before making a decision.
It's about being an informed consumer.
Absolutely.
Do your research and make the choice that's right for you.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything when it comes to oil furnaces.
I think so.
We've explored the ratings, decoded badge engineering, and even talked about the different types of burners. Hopefully our listeners are feeling a little bit more confident about tackling this decision.
I hope so. Knowledge is power.
It really is. And speaking of knowledge, if you want to keep learning more about all things HVAC, I highly recommend checking out the HVAC Repair Guy channel on YouTube. He's got tons of great videos with expert advice and tips. Plus, he's the one behind these awesome ratings we've been discussing.
Yeah, he's a great resource.
And don't forget, for all of your heating and cooling needs, be sure to check out the HVAC Repair Guy Amazon shop.
That's right.
They've got everything you need, from filters to thermostats, all in one place.
Very convenient.
Well, that's it for this episode of Comfort Matters. We hope you found this deep dive helpful as you navigate the world of oil furnaces. Stay warm out there, and we'll catch you on the next episode.